These are the topics we'll go over, like why to use email, the benefits, designing your strategy, which tool to use, the types of emails that may or may not already be existing in your business, how to build a database, uh, marketing permissions, industry averages, and then your overall strategy. So just to get started into this, so you may already be used to email marketing in your business. Email marketing in terms of a digital marketing channel has been around for a very long time. The first email marketing campaign was sent out in the late 1970s. But even though there are many new platforms to choose from, such as the popularity of social media, paid ads and SEO and everything, it still remains a highly effective channel for digital marketers. By 2022, there's expected to be 347 billion daily emails sent every day. So it's clear why it is such a popular platform to communicate with customers. Today yourself, you've probably been inundated with emails about promotions, business updates and offers. So it is still part of our daily life, which is why it's such a good channel. Some of the benefits for email marketing is that it is fairly quick and easy to get set up. There are many free email platforms to choose from if you're just starting out and you have a small database. The content can be tailored to clients based on past transactions, and on top of that, their own personal data too. So any information you have on clients, you can actually utilize that to send personal personal emails, which you don't really get with many other platforms like social media or SEO or anything. So that's why personalization is a big thing with this. Definitely a reliable way of staying in touch with customers. It's expected to be 4.5 billion email users, which is half the planet by 2024, so it's a big audience. It does have quite a high return on investment. As of 2021, companies that invested $1 would have a return of $42, so it is a high ROI. And as I said before, it's a personalized communication channel, which is why it's so popular. In terms of the ROI, if you take a look at the image here in the bottom right, you can see that's the top performer against the other digital marketing strands. So the big thing that I would speak to a lot of companies about on DigiGrowth is, what is the purpose of email in your business? Some clients come to me, they don't use email, and some do, but they're not sure why they're doing that. So what I try to cover with them and on this webinar too is, why are you using email? What's your strategy? And to break that down is, who are you sending campaigns to? Is your campaigns going to be going to your whole email database? Are you going to segment them? Do you have a defined buying persona? So if you don't have that already, a buying persona is your target customer, which kind of dictates all your content and your channels as well. If you don't have one, I would recommend putting one together, but that will help formulate what emails you're going to be sending and who you're going to be sending them to. If you're going to put this amount of effort into building up emails, like setting up the accounts, integrating it with your processes and managing it, it's important to have a clear idea of what your intended goal is, your goal and outcome. So this could be different things depending on your business. This could be develop lead generation, so getting people to reach out to you. It could be things such as purchasing things on your website, signing up to your newsletter, anything like that. But it's very important that it's clear to you what the expected outcome is from the emails. Now, obviously, one of the big things is engagement. Similar to social media, it's a good tool for building engagement, and then over time that should lead to conversions. But really, think about what it is the expected outcome from your campaigns. The next part is, what content will you include? Whenever I'm building emails for clients, it's important for them to have brand outlines, such as brand colors, images, call to action images, copy. Do you have to create this? Do you have it already? If you don't, I would advise to invest a little time into establishing what's consistent images you're going to use, what matches your brand, everything like that. But it's important to have the tools to put together an email before you send it out. If you don't and you're only starting out, there's a tool called Canva, which is very good and it's free to use, and that can help you put things together that can be used for email. Once you understand who you're sending it to, the thing I would check is, what is your overall marketing goal? Now, email marketing, it is just one part of your overall communication channels. Likely you're going to be using things like social media, SEO, paid ads, So everyone has a different mix of channel communications, but it's important to understand what is your, main goal and how is this going to help contribute to it. Then the next thing to ask is how frequently will you send campaigns? Will it be on a weekly basis, every 2 weeks, once a month? Is it going to be based on promotions? Um, this will also be determined. The last one, which is how frequently you send campaigns, that's kind of more related to newsletters. But there is a lot of different emails you can send in your business, which I'll be covering here now. But just to take away from this whole section, definitely sit and think about what is your intended purpose behind the emails, how does it fit into the larger marketing goal, and how do you measure success behind it. This is something that comes up quite often in my training sessions, and it kind of relates to the last slide, is if you're going to put the work into it, what is your process? So looking at this, the client signs up, the email sent, they engage, and then they're directed to your sales process. So if we think about this digitally, you could have a newsletter sign up on your website. A client signs up, then after a few emails, they decide to engage with you. And then at that point, you're thinking about what is the call to action? What is it that you want them to do? For some businesses, as I say, is to purchase something on their website, or if you're in like a service-based industry, is to get in touch with you to begin the sales process. But as I say, think about the action you want the customer to take, as this is going to formulate everything in this process, including the links that you direct them to, the images, the words that you use. So definitely think about where the client's going to be going on this journey from engaging and signing up to your sales process, whatever that is. As I say, it's very good to take a good self-assessment on currently what your email process is. Some of the questions that I frequently ask clients whenever they join the DigiGrowth program is, do you have an existing marketing tool? Do you have a current database of customers? Are emails currently being sent out in your business that you're aware of? And do you have a designated person to manage this process? So definitely think of those 4 questions within your own business, because that will give you a good understanding of how email is playing a role already, and whether or not that's matching the strategy that you want to be carrying out as well. If you're new to email, there's some tools that we can recommend, very popular tools, such as MailChimp, Sendinblue, SendGrid, HubSpot, Constant Contact, Klaviyo. There's loads more. Some of them, such as Klaviyo, works really well with Shopify, if that's a platform that you're operating on. MailChimp works quite well with a lot of platforms. If you're only starting out and you have a small database, MailChimp's good because you can have up to 2,000 contacts for free and send up to 10,000 emails a month. And it works well with e-commerce tools such as WooCommerce, because you can actually connect your transactional data there, your customer buying data. So definitely, if you're not set up on one, take a look at it, see what works best, and take a look at scalability too if you have a large database. For example, MailChimp is good to start off with, but if you actually compare it to some of the other tools that are out there, as you scale, it becomes probably more expensive in comparison. I think a good one to compare to is Sendinblue in terms of price. Once you get into like a few 50,000 or so, definitely it'd be worth maybe taking a look away from MailChimp. What's frequently asked is about how to build a database if you don't already have one. So with email marketing, you actually have to get clients to consent to give in their email and actually to take the action to sign up their email. It's a little different from tools like social media where you can just put your stuff out there. You have to try and get them to actively sign up and submit their details, which takes a few more steps. If you don't currently have a database of customers, there are various ways to set up that you can build it up. One of the most common ways is to collect emails via your newsletter embedded on your website. If you don't already have that, I would highly recommend to get that added. You can use lead magnets to entice people to sign up to your email, and you can offer them something in return. Examples of this are, you may have come across, if you go into a website, they have a pop-up and saying, sign up and get our ebook, get a discount like this one here, trial subscriptions, white paper, stuff like that. Essentially what you're doing is You're incentivizing people to submit their details in order to give them something of value, some sort of content like the ones listed here, like the webinar today, for example. This is a good way to get people to sign up and submit their details. So you are giving them something in return, but then you're also getting their details too. This is just an example of one. To get this, I would just have to submit my details there, and then I can get access to that content. Here's another one, and this is actually looking to get details from me as well. And whoever set this up, they're actually going to be using that information to reach out to me. They have a whole plan behind this, how to engage with me once I've given them my details. A few things once you have a database, whatever way you get it. And actually, before I get on to this, those were the lead magnets and the newsletter sign up. Those are digital forms of building an email database. I have worked in the hotel industry where you can actually collect, customer emails physically as well. When people come to reception, or if you have an event, or so definitely don't miss out on collecting emails, whatever opportunities that you have. It's very business dependent, so whatever your business environment is, but whatever way you can collect emails and get consent, definitely I would recommend it. Once you have a database, or if you have an existing database, there's two things that we would recommend. So a lot of clients come to me on the program, and whenever they're using email, for example, they only really have like their first name and their email address. To get the most out of the customer data, you want to use as much as possible that's tied into your strategy. So things such as if I had a strategy to re-engage with clients who haven't purchased in the last year, then the information I would need to find from my database is clients who haven't purchased in the last year, and I need to know their buying history. So that's a field I'd have to upload. And then the other thing I would suggest is remove unengaged contacts. So quite easy to find if you're using any email tool. You can just segment to find anyone who's been on your system for a while that hasn't opened any of your emails. To help your email domain, you can regularly clear out your database of unengaged contacts every 6 to 12 months, which does help improve your domain score and save you money if you're paying for the number of contacts you have. It's actually kind of critical to do this, because if you continually send to customers who aren't interested, this can affect your sender reputation with email providers and redirect your emails to spam or block them entirely. So it's a two-way thing where you only want to send emails to people who would be engaged, because that'll improve your open rate and hopefully increase the number of call to actions and click-through rate. But also you want to avoid people not engaging with you, because that will affect your overall sendability to everyone. So developing a strong strategy of removing those people who aren't engaged will definitely help you in the long run. As I say, if you are using any email tool, and this is just taken from MailChimp, nearly most email tools and any ones that I've worked with, to find your unengaged contacts, they'll give you the option to segment your database. Incredibly important feature, because it helps you utilize most of your contact details, and you can find your customers based on the date, for example, they last made a purchase. The one I made here is to find anyone who hasn't engaged with any of the last 5 campaigns. And what I'll do with that is I'll find those contacts, and then I'll just remove them from the system, so that I'm not engaging with them, and that will help us in the long run. Segments in general, this will help you find people who are unengaged, but it'll also help you find people based on any information that you have on them. So depending on how much data that you've put on your email tool, you can find contacts based on when they were added, when they last made a purchase, how much revenue they've brought in for you, how many times they've purchased, their date of birth. For example, if you're in the hotel industry, you would find things such as the date that they made their booking, when they're expected to arrive, and all that information is stuff that you can use to develop marketing campaigns, which I'll go into. A big question that I ask clients whenever they join the program is, do you know what emails are being sent out, and do you know the difference between transactional and marketing emails? So when it comes to sending emails, there's 2 main types listed there. These emails play 2 distinct but necessary functions with any business. So to highlight the difference between them, a transactional email is a triggered email. So a client has to take an action on your site or with the business to get that sent. An example of this would be if someone went onto your website and purchased a product, they would be sent a confirmation email, or if you had to reset your password. Um, and it may not necessarily require marketing permissions to be sent. So obviously we'll touch on that in a little bit, but transactional emails, the customers need to get them. So I may not be signed up to Amazon's newsletter, but I definitely need to get the confirmation from Amazon that my product's being sent. So that's why marketing permissions may not necessarily be needed if it's going to be related to transactions. In terms of general marketing emails, these are typically sent to a mass group, sent when the business has an update or promotion, includes promotional content, and does require marketing permissions to be sent. So if you try to think about your own business, think about, if you have an online shop and people can purchase online, you probably have transactional emails set up. Do you know what they look like? Do they fit your email strategy? Can you edit the content on it? Stuff like that. And in terms of marketing emails, of course, think about what campaigns are you going to send to help achieve your overall marketing goal. Will it be sending out promotions? Will it be providing content over time? Will it be, newsletters or surveys and stuff like that? But it's just definitely, even at the top level there, just even if you write down or think about which emails in your business are transactional and which emails in your business are going to be for marketing. So an example of marketing emails includes newsletters, surveys, seasonal campaigns, lead nurturing emails, product update emails, and promotional emails. It gives you plenty of options to choose from to build engagement, and your email marketing strategy will determine which one of these fit best. So you don't have to use all of these, but once you've established your email marketing strategy of who you're contacting and why and what you want them to do, it'll give you a better idea of what campaigns that you want to send out, and also it'll be campaigns that fit your business too. For example, just to take a look at some of these, this is what a promotional email looks like. As it's highlighting products that are there. It's given a discount, and it has a call to action there. So the shop to sale is a very clear call to action to get someone to click through and then go onto the website and make a purchase. This is an example of a survey email. So this is about collecting feedback from customers, which you can use for different reasons. You can use it for your content and stuff like that, or find out how customers' experience is. Kind of similar to this, and a good campaign to do is if you are on Google My Business, you can actually put a link to the reviews there and send that out to customers post purchase or at different times, and it'll link them to where they can actually leave a review. But yeah, this is just an example of a survey, and then this is an example of the newsletter that the council sent out that you probably all received, and it's just highlighting different things that are going on, tidbits of information with actions to follow up and again touch with. And then this is a seasonal campaign, so obviously Christmas will be coming up very soon. So this is just like a general, not much, there's nothing behind this one, there's no call to actions, it's just a sort of friendly email to an individual. Now you can also send promotional emails during Christmas, and that's probably one of the best times to send promotional as well, but this is just an example of a general seasonal one, and the intention behind this is not to really drive them to do an immediate purchase or call to action, but it's just really building like a positive engagement with the client. But definitely with seasonal, you can also send out seasonal promotional campaigns, which I do recommend. So those were marketing emails. Transactional emails, as I say, are whenever a customer does an action on your business, which includes things such as confirmations of orders, password reset, legal update email, shipping notification email, double opt-in email for marketing permissions, and customer sign up, which can be like a welcome email. If you've bought anything online, you would have received these. If you booked in somewhere in a hotel or anything, you would receive these as well. As I mentioned, definitely self-assess which transactional emails are going out in your business and which marketing emails are going out in your business. Just to make sure that, well, first of all, they are there. If you know how your business operates, that these are being sent out. And not only that, transactional emails are quite good because they have a good open rate. If you do a comparison between marketing emails and transactional emails, transactional emails have like a very high open rate because, well, you are expecting these. It's timely. So you are expecting this. If I ever make a purchase online, I would expect the email to be there because it's a bit of a security net that it actually has happened. So if you're ever comparing the data, transactional will always be higher. And definitely take advantage of being able to change the templates for your transactional email. If you're on WooCommerce, for example, and you integrate with MailChimp, you can actually change your templates for your transactional emails. You don't just have to use the default ones. So definitely it's another opportunity to present and engage with the clients in a way. But yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, so if you are using WooCommerce or any tool like that, or if you're on eCommerce, you'll definitely have some form of transactional emails being sent out, such as order confirmation, shipping confirmation, delivery. This will definitely be tied into your product's journey from point of purchase to the client. So long as they're being sent out, that's what you want to happen. But transactional emails definitely play a huge part with e-commerce because they can be purchased at any time, and they'll be sent out automatically. So if you do have an e-commerce store set up, I could not recommend enough to go on and check and see what those emails look like that they are sending, and if you can make any adjustments to them to sort of like promote your business more. And just another thing as well, I know I've covered sort of transactional and marketing emails, but with clients I've also mentioned quite frequently in DigiGrowth about just general business updates, like informative emails, like if you're going to be closed over Christmas, you don't necessarily need the client to do anything on this. It's just to let them know, what's happening with your business. So maybe it's something like moving premises, or as I say, business update, you're going to be closed. Definitely take advantage of those because it's a really, as we've mentioned, there's a lot of people that are on email, so it's a definitely good way to get across any business updates that you have. Now the next thing, which is really important, and I try to get clients to take a look at this, is what's your marketing permissions. GDPR came in effect in 2018. So even though you may have a large database of email addresses, you may not have the right marketing permissions to contact these clients outside of business reasons. There is two main reasons why you should only promote the customers who've opted in the email marketing, and that is data privacy laws. Like legally you're bound to adhere to those, but also customer preferences too. This ties into about your domain score. You don't want to be contacting people who don't want to receive your emails, which is just the gist of it. And it is very important if a customer has opted in to receiving promotional marketing from you, but and that's when they've given their consent to be contacted. If you send a client promotional email content without their consent, you're in breach of GDPR, and you can face penalties from that too. So what I ask people is, are you aware you may have an existing database, but are you aware of, have these clients given their permission to be marketed to? Have they ticked the box whenever they signed up? It's very important that you can clearly demonstrate that, because with GDPR, you can be a client can do a subject access request, which is, can you send me any information that you have on me and what it's used for? And if you can't really do that and show that they have given clear consent for marketing, that would put you in breach of GDPR. So just to go on that, this is just an example of like a newsletter sign up where there is a clear field where people will submit and agree to receive promotional marketing, and then this is how that translates on the database. So I could clearly see that that person has signed up to give marketing emails. But definitely the takeaway from this point is, are you okay to send emails out to promotional marketing emails to your database of clients, or would there be any issues with that? Now, we can only likely touch on this subject because every business is different and everyone has a different GDPR policy. So what I would suggest to do is check what your GDPR policy is. If you have a DPO officer, check with them, and just make sure that you can clearly see that you are sending emails to people who have given their permission. And if they haven't, then maybe that's a point where you do a segment, like I mentioned earlier, and remove those contacts from being sent out any marketing emails just to keep yourself right. But as I say, it's individual to every business. This is just a highlight and to take a look at that within your own business. Yeah, these are the other consequences. If you don't collect permissions, contact can be taken off the list, unsubscribed. They can contact the ICO and their ISP provider, which will prevent you from sending out emails to clients in the future. Moving on to something a bit more positive is personalization. So we mentioned about your strategy, the different types of emails you can send, how to segment, and your buying persona and stuff like that, which this kind of ties into. So the average person receives about 121 business emails per day. With so much noise, it's a challenge for businesses to make their content stick out. This is where personalization comes in. Recipients are more likely to engage with emails that are targeted to them as compared to a mass generic email. Depending on the data you have, your customers, there are different ways of personalizing an email, which includes, information related to where they live, information related to what they last purchased, and stuff like how much revenue they've brought in as well. So for that last one, I worked with a business where they would send like a thank you email to clients who brought in a lot of revenue, their top 10% customers for the year. They would send them a thank you email every year. But also as well, the clients who brought in very little revenue, they actually then sent them another email to try and get them re-engaged. So just having that data in general gives you the accessibility to you know, engage with your customers based on, the information that you have. And it's really useful because personalization is about, getting away from generic emails, and they increase your open rate too. Campaigns that you can create using this, you can add people's details to the email content, to the subject line. For example, you can put on people's first names in the subject line and preview text with certain tools. You can segment a database. This, like for example, if customers have only purchased product A, then you could just send them emails to them related to product A instead of sending it to your entire database, which would increase your open rate as well. You can send them promotional offers and updates on the products that they have shown an interest in, and that can be based on whether or not they purchased it, or whenever they sign up to your sign up form, have they shown that they're interested in that. And sending them emails at a specific time, so things such as birthday emails, anniversary emails, and a popular one is sending emails to clients based on when they last transacted, so you can have an automated email sent out based on if they haven't transacted with you in a year. But personalization, I know most of us will receive emails now where it's like, hi Thomas, or hi your first name, but most emails now, to take that a step further, you can change your content and the actual messages behind what you're sending out by email to fit what the clients either purchased in the past or any data that you have on them. I know that's really getting into a meticulous way of looking at it, but the more personalized you can make your emails, the more likely they are to open and engage with them, instead of just sending a general mass email. If this is something that's new to you, then I would probably just suggest to start segmenting your database based on things that they've purchased. Try and ensure that people's first names are in all your emails. Like that you're addressing it to them, and start with that, and then just build out from there. This is just taking a look at the general industry averages. So whenever you start email marketing, you may be looking at, what is good, what's a good open rate, what's a click-through rate, everything like that. Just to give you an understanding of some of these terminologies, an open rate is how many people have opened the emails that you've sent, so what percentage of them is that. The click-through rate is how many people have actually clicked on through your email, so the click-through rate will always be smaller than the open rate, and that's good to know. And then obviously the unsubscribe rate as well. These are just some of the the figures that you'll see. Take a look at the averages there. The average open rate's 18%, click-through rate's 2%, and click-to-open rate is 14%. So, they don't seem that high. For example, so like less than a fifth are actually going to open the email based on those industry averages. But as you can see, it varies per industry. But definitely take a look at your reporting whenever you're sending out emails. It kind of ties back into the initial goal, setting up a strategy of when you're sending out these emails, are they clicking through to where you want them to go to? Is there a high click-through rate? If you find that there isn't, then that's the time to experiment with the emails that you're sending out, through either A/B testing, trying out the different campaigns that I mentioned there, like promotional surveys, changing the content that you have in it, maybe getting more personalized with your content as well. But definitely always take a look at how your emails are performing. You could do it on like a monthly reporting basis, but I would definitely recommend, always check and see what the engagement's like. And it's not just, you may have an email tool set up that'll show you that. For example, how many people clicked through and, clicked on the link that you wanted them to. But there's other tools that can help with that too, such as Google Analytics. So Google Analytics can show you where customers have come through to your website, if it's social media or email. So it's about, integrating those together. Just to kind of wrap up there, what I would highlight is that it's important to remember that email marketing is just one strand of communication under a digital marketing umbrella. Your email marketing strategy should be an extension of your overall marketing strategy and goal, and working alongside the different marketing channels towards the same objective. So if you're sending out an email, things to consider is, will you be putting out the same content on social media? Is you going to be putting out anything on video, content marketing, such as blogs on your site? Are these working together towards driving people towards the same goal? Because as I highlight to a lot of customers, email marketing, as I've shown here, is, it is a really good tool to use. But it shouldn't be seen working independently. It should be seen working alongside these different things towards the same goal. So always try and keep that in mind. But yeah, just in terms of conclusion, email marketing is a highly popular low-cost marketing channel. It's important to understand how email marketing plays a role in your business currently, so do a self-assessment. Once you understand that you can develop a strong email marketing strategy, it'll help your overall marketing strategy. And the two types of campaigns that you can send out are transactional, promotional emails. So it's good to understand, which of those will fit your business. For the next session, just to make everyone aware, we will be using like an actual email tool to go through this in more detail. But I did just want to use this webinar to get people to think about how is email currently playing a role in their business, and whether or not you have an existing strategy, and then to start planning that out. But definitely next week we'll be actually using one of the email tools and going through this and building branded templates and such.